Every morning, millions of older adults wake up and reach for their glasses before their feet even touch the floor. They squint to read the newspaper, give up driving at night, and gradually accept that the world around them is becoming blurry. We have been told for decades that vision loss is an inevitable consequence of aging. Our eyes wear out like an old pair of shoes, and there is not much to do other than change glasses or wait for surgery. But this belief completely misses a fundamental physiological truth about how your eyes actually function. Something is happening inside your eyes every single night while you sleep. Something silent, invisible, and with direct consequences for your vision over the years. Nutrition plays a central role in this process, a role that most people ignore entirely. Here is the scientific reality. Your retina, the thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye that captures light and encodes every image you perceive, has the highest metabolic rate of any tissue in the human body. It consumes oxygen more rapidly than your brain. This intense and constant activity generates a considerable amount of metabolic waste, primarily in the form of oxidative stress. It is a form of biological rust accumulating inside the most precise mechanism of your body. Every night while you sleep, your body is supposed to activate a cleaning and repair cycle inside your eyes. The problem is that after 60, this nightly repair cycle progressively loses its efficiency. Damage accumulates faster than the body can correct it. Over years, this invisible nightly deficit leads to permanent vision losses that could, in large part, be prevented. What we are going to explore today is the science behind 7 fruits that contain exactly the biochemical compounds your retina needs to make this repair cycle more effective. And because knowing the right foods is not enough, we will also explain precisely how to prepare them, when to consume them, and which combinations to avoid, because getting these things wrong can nullify most of their benefits. Let us begin with a fruit that is systematically underestimated in discussions about eye health, the gold kiwi. Your retina contains a central zone called the macula, responsible for your sharpest, most detailed vision. This zone is protected by 2 specific pigments, lutein and zeaxanthin. Think of these 2 compounds as a pair of sunglasses built directly inside your eye, filtering harmful blue light and neutralizing free radicals all day long. After 60, the natural density of these protective pigments decreases. The macula becomes more exposed and more vulnerable, and the photoreceptor cells you depend on to see clearly begin to accumulate damage faster than your body can repair it. The gold kiwi is one of the most effective dietary sources for replenishing these pigments. The gold variety is recommended over the green for one simple reason related to the physiology of older adults. It is significantly less acidic. A very large proportion of people over 60 suffer from acid reflux or digestive sensitivity, particularly in the evening hours. The green kiwi can trigger these discomforts and disrupt sleep. The gold variety delivers the same essential eye nutrients with far less digestive irritation. It also contains natural precursors to serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates your sleep cycle and facilitates entry into deep sleep, precisely when retinal tissue repair is at its maximum. 2 gold kiwis consumed 60 to 90 minutes before bed target both objectives simultaneously. One detail almost nobody knows: the zone richest in antioxidants in the kiwi is not the center of the flesh. It is the thin layer just beneath the skin, where a compound called oleic acid concentrates. The smoother skin of the gold kiwi can be gently washed and eaten as is. If you prefer not to eat the skin, at minimum scrape the flesh as close to it as possible. Do not leave the most nutrient-dense layer on the cutting board. From the macula, let us move to a problem that touches the majority of people after 60, but is rarely addressed nutritionally. Morning blurry vision. When you wake up and things take several minutes to come into focus, most people assume their eyes simply need a moment to start up. Very often in older adults, this morning haze signals overnight dehydration and poor blood circulation to the retina. This is where watermelon enters the picture, and not in the way you might expect. With age, our thirst mechanism weakens. You simply no longer feel thirst with the same intensity as you did at 40 or 50, creating a state of mild chronic dehydration that many seniors are not even aware of. The vitreous humor, the gelatinous substance giving the eye its shape, is 99% water. When overall hydration drops, this substance can retract and pull on the retina, contributing to the flashes and floaters many older adults experience. But watermelon's real power goes beyond hydration. It is exceptionally rich in citrulline, which your kidneys convert into arginine, and your body then uses that arginine to produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a powerful vasodilator. It signals blood vessel walls to relax and widen. The capillaries feeding your retina are among the smallest blood vessels in the entire body. Any degree of arterial stiffening, extremely common after 60, restricts flow through these microscopic vessels first. By boosting nitric oxide levels before sleep, you reopen the supply routes delivering oxygen and nutrients to your retinal cells throughout the night. The part most people discard holds the real value. The highest concentration of citrulline in watermelon is not in the red flesh, but in the white rind, the pale layer between the red flesh and the green outer skin. Blend a small amount of the white rind with the red flesh. It is flavorless enough to change nothing in taste, and it dramatically increases your citrulline intake. One critical warning: never add salt to your watermelon. Excess sodium raises intraocular pressure, a significant risk factor for glaucoma. We want to improve flow, not increase pressure. Now let us address a real safety concern for older adults that is rarely discussed nutritionally: the slowing of dark adaptation. Moving from a bright environment to a dark one, entering a movie theater, driving into a tunnel, or crossing a parking garage requires your eyes to adapt. For many people over 60, this adaptation has become dangerously slow, creating genuine risks of falls and accidents. This slowing is primarily driven by insufficient regeneration of a pigment called rhodopsin, found in the rod cells of your retina that specialize in low-light vision. With age and accompanying nutritional deficiencies, rhodopsin regeneration slows considerably. Black currants directly address this. These small, dark purple berries are functionally superior for ocular blood flow and rhodopsin support. They are extraordinarily rich in anthocyanins that have demonstrated in clinical settings a specific ability to improve microcirculation at the optic nerve head, that critical point where the nerve exits the eye toward the brain. The optic nerve is the transmission cable connecting your eye to your brain. In glaucoma, one of the most common eye conditions in seniors, this nerve is progressively damaged by pressure or insufficient blood supply. The anthocyanins in black currants support the microcirculation that keeps this cable functional. They also help relax the ciliary muscle, the internal muscle that controls lens shape for focusing, reducing the chronic eye fatigue many seniors mistakenly accept as normal aging. Frozen black currants or a high-quality extract are perfectly acceptable alternatives to fresh. Consistency is what matters most. Here is a fruit found in every supermarket that most people buy in the wrong version: blueberries. Not the large cultivated ones, white on the inside and sold in plastic clamshells. Wild blueberries. The difference is not taste or size. It is fundamental biochemistry. Wild blueberries have a much higher skin-to-flesh ratio, and since anthocyanins concentrate in the skin, they possess nearly double the antioxidant capacity of cultivated varieties. But the true power of wild blueberries lies in a compound called pterostilbene. Pterostilbene is structurally similar to resveratrol found in red wine, but far more bioavailable. And crucially, it can cross the blood-retinal barrier. This barrier protects the eye from toxins, and it also blocks most therapeutic agents. Pterostilbene passes through and acts directly inside retinal cells to activate DNA repair mechanisms. Photoreceptor cells are neurons, and they do not regenerate easily. Over a lifetime of light exposure, their DNA accumulates errors that, if left uncorrected, lead to cell death and permanent vision loss. Pterostilbene activates the internal repair systems that correct these errors before they worsen. Buy them frozen. They are harvested at peak ripeness, and freezing partially ruptures the cell walls, making nutrients more accessible to your digestive system. Next, a fruit whose appearance confuses some people but offers a specific dual benefit for aging eyes: red-fleshed dragon fruit. Its deep magenta flesh is colored by betalains, powerful antioxidants protecting blood vessels from oxidative stress. But the most important part is what most people ignore entirely: the tiny black seeds. These seeds are rich in omega-3 and omega-9 fatty acids. Why does this matter for your eyes? Because the photoreceptor cells of your retina have the highest concentration of omega-3 fatty acids of any cell in the human body. These fats keep cell membranes supple, fluid, and permeable, allowing nutrients in and waste products out. With age, and particularly with a diet poor in good lipids, these membranes become rigid, essentially starving the cells from within. Chew the seeds thoroughly. Swallowed whole, they pass through undigested and deliver nothing. By chewing, you rupture their casing and release the fatty acids. Half a red-fleshed dragon fruit, about 1 hour before bed, is an effective dose, particularly valuable for combating retinal hypoxia, where the retina receives insufficient oxygen. Now, the most potent fruit on our list for macular protection is goji berries. Age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of severe vision loss in people over 60. It erodes central vision, making reading impossible, driving dangerous, and recognizing faces increasingly difficult. Your macula is like a target receiving the maximum light entering your eye every day. Zeaxanthin is the pigment armoring that target. Clinical studies have shown that increasing goji berry intake can measurably increase macular pigment optical density, concretely thickening the protective shield at the back of your eye. For older adults with weakened teeth or digestive sensitivities, dried goji berries can be tough to process. Always soak 2 tablespoons of dried berries in warm water for 10 minutes before eating them. This rehydration makes them easier to chew and significantly improves the bioavailability of their active compounds. Do not skip this step. Our seventh fruit fights a completely different enemy, papaya. We have focused extensively on the retina, but the lens of the eye can equally rob you of your independence. Cataracts, the clouding of the lens, are among the leading causes of blindness worldwide. This clouding is caused primarily by glycation, a process where sugar molecules bind to the proteins composing the lens, making them progressively stiff and opaque. A slow caramelization happening inside your eye over decades. Papaya contains a powerful proteolytic enzyme called papain that helps break down misfolded proteins and combat the inflammation associated with glycation. It is also exceptionally rich in vitamin C, which concentrates in the aqueous humor, the fluid that directly bathes your lens. Research consistently correlates low vitamin C levels in this fluid with cataract formation. Fresh, well-ripened papaya, consumed regularly, provides the lens with the antioxidants it needs to stay clear. Add a few drops of fresh lime juice. The acidity stabilizes the vitamins and aids absorption, which is especially important for people with reduced gastric acidity, extremely common after 60. Now the part that most nutritional guides completely overlook, yet which is equally critical, the 5 rules of absorption. Knowing the right foods means nothing if you consume them incorrectly. The first rule concerns calcium. Many seniors take calcium supplements or consume dairy regularly for bone health. But calcium can chemically bind to certain antioxidants in your intestine, forming insoluble complexes your body cannot absorb. Eating wild blueberries with milk or yogurt, or immediately after a calcium supplement, neutralizes a significant portion of their anthocyanins before they can act. Casein, the main dairy protein, does the same. Treat your evening fruit as an isolated event. Allow at least 90 minutes between dairy or calcium intake and fruit consumption. The second rule concerns healthy fats. Lutein, zeaxanthin, vitamin A, and vitamin E are fat-soluble. They dissolve in fats, not water. Consuming goji berries or kiwi with no fat present means a large proportion of these nutrients passes through unabsorbed. You do not need a heavy meal. A few walnuts, a teaspoon of flaxseed oil, or a thin slice of avocado provides enough lipids to activate bile production necessary to absorb these vitamins. Research shows pairing carotenoids with fat can increase absorption by 50% or more. The third rule, wash gently. For blueberries and black currants, the highest antioxidant concentration sits in the skin and the natural waxy bloom covering the surface. Scrubbing these berries under hot water strips away these beneficial compounds before you even eat them. Rinse gently under cool water just before consuming. Do not wash them in advance and leave them sitting wet. Clean the skin. Do not destroy it. The fourth rule concerns temperature, particularly critical for papaya. Papain is an enzyme, and enzymes are temperature-sensitive catalysts. Consuming ice-cold papaya straight from the refrigerator significantly dampens enzymatic activity. Cooking destroys it completely and irreversibly. Room temperature is optimal. Take your fruit out 30 to 60 minutes before eating. This slight warming reactivates enzymatic potential and eases digestion, particularly important for older adults whose gastric motility has slowed. The fifth and most important rule for maximizing nighttime eye repair is timing. We are targeting the sleep window because that is when your body shifts to deep recovery mode. releasing growth hormones to repair tissues while the brain cleanses itself. We want nutrients peaking in your bloodstream precisely when this repair cycle is most active. Eating fruit 5 minutes before sleep risks acid reflux that disrupts sleep quality. Eating 4 hours before bed means nutrients are metabolized and cleared before repair work begins. The ideal window is 60 to 90 minutes before your usual bedtime. This gives your stomach enough time to move food into the small intestine where absorption occurs, ensuring a steady stream of nutrients to your eyes throughout the night without disrupting your rest. To bring everything together, your eyes after 60 are engaged in a daily battle against oxidative damage accumulation, a battle fought primarily during your sleep. Gold kiwis. Rebuild your macular shield while deepening restorative sleep. Watermelon's white rind reopens the tiny vessels, supplying your retina with oxygen overnight. Black currants protect your optic nerve and relieve chronic eye fatigue. Wild blueberries cross the eye's protective barrier to perform DNA-level repairs in your visual cells. Red dragon fruit nourishes both your ocular blood vessels and your photoreceptor cell membranes. Goji berries, properly rehydrated, thicken your macular pigment against destructive light. And fresh papaya at room temperature combats cataract formation by clearing misfolded proteins from your lens. None of these fruits is a miracle cure. They will not reverse advanced macular degeneration or cure established glaucoma, but they provide something more durable: the specific raw materials your body needs to perform its own repair work with maximum efficiency, night after night, week after week, month after month. Vision deterioration is not simply genetic fate. It is largely the cumulative result of decades of specific deficits in the compounds your eyes use to maintain and repair themselves. Addressing these deficits now, with the right foods correctly prepared, consumed at the right time, and following the absorption rules we have covered, is choosing an active and informed position to protect one of the most fundamental aspects of your independence and quality of life. As always, consult your doctor before making significant dietary changes, particularly if you are taking medications, as some of these fruits can interact with certain treatments.